directly put taxes up on working people because you haven't actually put up income tax, even though she floated the idea on November the 4th, despite knowing that she had 4.2 billion in the coffers. And you're saying, no, it's not technically a tax rise because we're doing it by stealth, by freezing the thresholds for another 3 years.
No, I'm sorry,
26 billion in taxes on working people. It's a tax on working people.
There's no stealth tax if you say it there in Parliament what you're doing. She was completely upfront about what she was doing. The manifesto said we wouldn't increase the rates of income tax and national insurance on workers. We didn't do that. What the manifesto also said is we would keep the tax burden on working people as low as possible, and that's what we've done.
In Britain, who pays tax?
Well, people pay it on all sorts of things. People pay it on their work, people pay it on property income, people on dividends, people pay it on savings.
So workers pay tax. Should we agree on this one thing? Workers pay tax, correct? If the tax bill has gone up by 26 billion, workers are being taxed, aren't they, Mr. Murray?
We are asking everyone to make a contribution.
So you have broken the manifesto?
No, because the manifesto said we would not increase those rates of income tax and national insurance on working people, and that we would keep the tax burden on working people as low as possible.
The other lie in the manifesto and indeed the budget is the idea that you are in any way cutting welfare. Welfare is actually going up by another 70 billion, and by the end of the Parliament will be 403 billion. So you're doing nothing to cut benefits at all.
Well, look, we started...
The rebellion was just, showmanship.
We started the process of reforming welfare. Earlier in the year, we agreed that we were going to change universal credit so it never pays to be off sick rather than in work. And then in the budget last week, we set out changes to Motability to make sure that people can't get a luxury car on that system. Can we agree that the welfare bill will go up by the end of the Parliament, not down? Well, what we can agree on, I hope, is that the welfare system needs to change. And that's what we're going to do over this Parliament.
Mr. Murray, is the welfare bill going up or down by the end of the Parliament?
Well, the overall welfare bill as a proportion of GDP is broadly stable, but we need to make sure that it works. We need to make sure that it works, and it needs to change.
It needs to change.
Look, if you're asking me, are we done on reforming welfare? Absolutely not. The welfare system needs to change. We've begun the process of reform in what we did earlier this year with the universal credit, what we're doing now with Motability and fraud and error and getting young people into work. But we need to do more, and that's why the welfare system needs to change.
The welfare bill's going up, isn't it? I just need confirmation that that's a yes, because I can see the figures in front of me.
Well, the figures are set out in the budget
Welfare's
documents.
Going up. Look, is it going up, yes or no? Because we've got to finish.
Well, the welfare bill overall as a proportion of GDP is broadly stable, but it needs to change.
She said growth is my number one mission, growth at 1.5%.
Which is an upgrade from 1%.
James Murray, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Coming up next, I'm going to be speaking to Kemi Badenoch, Richard Tice, and getting the reaction from leading businessman Tim Martin.